I have one more thing. This will be very quick.
You're good.
Um, should I say this right now?
Yeah, do it.
Okay. Well, I'll say this first part here.
Okay.
You know Mike Benz? He was on Joe Rogan recently.
I don't know.
Mike
I don't think so.
Benz. I never heard of him before.
Okay.
He's like, I think he used to work for the CIA. He was a reporter. That podcast had got a bunch of, it's like 1.8 million views, got a bunch of traction. It's very, anti-permanent state type stuff, the kind of stuff that you would regard as like, brain rot, I'm sure.
Okay.
And a lot of normal people, I guess part of my, I don't know. I feel like I have a better sense of how the average person thinks and what is convincing to them than you do.
How would you? I don't.
The average person, ignorant, doesn't have much of a media diet, doesn't even pay attention to politics, wouldn't really know what Marxism was.
No, I feel like I think I have a pretty good handle on it. Yeah.
Okay. I mean, okay, fair enough. I'm just telling you that I do believe that I do have a better.
Do you want?
version,
We could run through examples and then find
no,
polling
no,
data.
This is my point about. This is my point about. I'm not trying to debate it. I'm just trying to tell you how I feel. So a big aspect is like, okay, Donald Trump fucking won. So clearly, there was, there's many different factors. So you can't just point to that one thing, but like. Good ideas have to reach more normal people, and you're a major influencer in the political realm, and at minimum, whether or not I convince you to change anything, which is not my goal, genuinely, but it helps me learn about what I should do. All that being said, when will you admit that you fucking lied about Donald Trump saying very fine people?
I think he did say that.
About
I don't
Nazis.
know why
about Nazis.
He goes on to condemn them later on, yeah, but I don't know why he would ever try to both sides that. It's insane to me.
Wait, so I'm being triggering. I've never seen a clip of you. Did you ever, well, Emily, okay, better question. Instead of being a cunt on my part. Would you agree that Joe Biden starting his campaign and Barack Obama repeating that lie on the campaign trail, starting his campaign on that lie and Barack Obama repeating that lie on the campaign trail, that Donald Trump called Nazis very fine people? Do you agree that it was a bad idea?
Not that much. No, I don't know why. I don't know what I've seen the quote unquote fact check, and I've seen like how conservatives no, he condemned them. But like
he did explicitly, one or like less than 47 seconds later.
Yeah, when he was pushed to do it. After and then when he was asked to disavow.
In one weave, he calls it the weave. By the way, I don't know if you saw that. He does the weave where he goes on a.
See, like you're doing it again. No, just to be clear, you're doing it again. You're laughing about the weave, but I bet you've been like incensed about Biden's senility. Like every single thing that Donald Trump does, you'd probably say 7 rapes is okay.
That's perfectly reasonable to be.
No, it's not.
Wait. What did you say? I didn't hear the second part.
You media environment. It's just the meme. Trump can say or do literally fucking anything. He could be screaming the N-word while raping black children. He'd be like, well, I mean, like he was also doing the dance while he did it. It was kind of funny. Like it's no matter what he says or does, he always gets a pass. I don't understand why.
Okay.
Yeah, it drives me insane. Jesus. Okay. Yeah, so tell me about how he was weaving when he couldn't like just outwardly disavow like the Proud Boys. Tell me more about the weaving.
I regret making that. I regret making a reference to that.
It's not you don't. It's just I'm just showing you like
I do. I genuinely do regret.
The jokes are always in one direction. It's like what the comedians do. We joke about anything.
Hold on,
but then when that one guy on Joe Rogan goes to make fun of RFK's voice, Rogan's like, whoa, not cool, dude. Right? It's just it's the same thing always, yeah.
Because I'm right wing compared to you. So obviously I'm going to take the more right-wing position when I'm arguing with you. I don't care about coming here and agreeing with you for 2 hours. It's the most boring fucking thing.
I don't want to waste my time. That's not what we're talking about. We're not talking about your position.
Hold on. Let me just say this. Because if you were Andrew Wilson, this is the exact same thing in the other direction. So obviously when there's two of us, Paul, dude, everything you say is, it's always pro-right-wing. It's like, yeah, because you and I are we disagree, and you're more left of me. So obviously that's the dynamic.
If I were to go and find the last conversation that you had with Andrew Wilson, is there a point in there where you're defending Biden?
Well, we talk about like he's
no.
We talk
the
about
answer is no. You're not. The
fact you talk about more important issues.
Exactly. Yeah. Okay. So you just gave the weed.
No. Hold on. Okay. That's cunty. Because we weren't talking about politics. We're talking about religion and how he's a Christian fundamentalist. And I regard Christian fundamentalism as fucking nonsense. And that's a deeper ideology than far more people are influenced by religious ideology than whatever they hear about certain things going on at the political level. Most people do not pay attention to politics at all. Religion undergirds all of culture. So I would say me and Andrew were having a deeper conversation, and we disagreed just as much as we're having now. We said, well, you didn't talk about this specific thing that I focus on.
Okay.
Like, okay.
Did you talk about how Trump is like a fake Christian?
He is a fake Christian. 2 Corinthians? Nobody loves the Bible more than I do?
Do you see what you just said there? Hold on. Let me ask it one more time. Did you talk with Andrew Wilson about how Trump is a fake Christian? You just said people don't pay attention to politics and religion underlies everything.
No,
Donald Trump literally used weaponized religion to get elected, and you didn't bring it up. But you see, you did the thing there. That was a very clever trick, right? I asked you, did you talk about a thing, and you agreed with me while avoiding the question, right? It's very clever.
No, you're clever because you're sneaking in assumptions here. That matters. An assumption.
That's what you did. I asked a straightforward question. Did you talk about a thing? And you go like, oh, I agree with you there.
Yeah, the reason you asked me that is because you're implying, oh, you didn't talk about this thing, therefore that proves the point I'm trying to make.
Yeah, the point I'm trying to make is that you're not confronting him or being anywhere near as confrontational in defense of Biden or attacking Trump as you are on my side about defending every single thing Trump has done and attacking Biden.
Yeah, because I'm confronting him on issues that are objectively more important, like the nature of religion in culture.
Objectively, okay.
I would say objectively.
Okay.
And I'm fucking right about it.
Okay.
In my opinion. Anyway. My point was, the most recent one was Daniel Negreanu.
Yeah.
You know who Daniel Negreanu is?
Absolutely.
Poker player?
I loved poker in the 2000s.
Okay. Yeah. I played a lot of online poker. Not for money, if anyone's IRSing me. Daniel Negreanu. Very normie, I would say. Poker is a very normie, non-political.
Okay.
Right? Like, people who are interested in poker aren't necessarily interested in politics, right?
I don't know if that's
Daniel
true
Negreanu,
anymore, but okay. But go ahead.
But like sports. I'm just saying, like, you can be interested in sports and not politics, and you can be interested
Don't know if that's true. Politics is like infected fucking everything, but just go ahead. You just get to the point, yeah.
Sure. Daniel Negreanu, major popular figure. I've seen him, his was the most recent, and then I don't know, I can't think of them, but I've seen like at least 4 or 5, including my own personal life, where everyone cites the very fine people on both sides lie as one of the reasons they turned on, let's say, your side broadly.
Okay.
Daniel Negreanu just said this. And I saw the video, and I was like, wait a minute, for 4 years, I thought he said Nazis were very fine people. And then I see the video, and that was bullshit. So, in my mind, that's an example of, indisputably, I wish I would trust you more, not that it matters to you, but I would trust you more if you were as quick to go after that type of lie that Biden puts forward, or the left or whatever broadly, as you would all the lies that Trump does put forward.
So the lies that Trump puts forward are far more egregious, and I don't even necessarily consider that thing to be a lie.
But consider this.
Yeah.
That he did not say that that Nazis were very fine people.
He said that there were fine people on both sides of that protest. That was a really weird thing to say at a Tiki Torch rally. No, was it not? We can watch the video of Trump saying it if you think that.
Yeah, watch the whole thing. Watch the whole thing.
Where is the fucking
very fine people on both sides.
Is it?
You don't have to watch if you don't want to. I mean, we can
people on both sides. No. It's always good to have the video, or whatever.
Primary evidence.
You're putting what you're.
I think it's 1 minute and 40 seconds, probably.
Is this in the Wallace debate, or is that when he just does stand back and stand by?
Debate.
Okay, then it's his press conference.
That's stand back and stand by. That's different.
Okay, here we go. There you go. Press conference here. You ready?
Okay, I've seen it before. You can.
Oh, you want me to just listen? Okay, I'll just listen to it. I'll time to it. I'll just watch it on my stream. Okay, hold on.
You're calling alt left and white supremacists on the same moral plane.
I'm not putting anybody on a moral plane. What I'm saying is this. You had a group on one side and you had a group on the other, and they came at each other with clubs, and it was vicious, and it was horrible, and it was a horrible thing to watch. But there is another side. There was a group on this side, you can call them the left, or you've just called them the left, that came violently attacking the other group. So you can say what you want, but that's the way it is.
From both sides, so you said there was hatred, there was violence on both sides.
Well, I do think there's blame, yes. I think there's blame on both sides. You look at both sides. I think there's blame on both sides, and I have no doubt about it, and you don't have any doubt about it either. And if you reported it accurately, you would say.
They showed up in Charlottesville.
Excuse me.
To protest.
Excuse me. They didn't themselves down as good. And you had some very bad people in that group. But you also had people that were very fine people on both sides. You had people in that group, excuse me, I saw the same pictures as you did. You had people in that group that were there to protest the taking down of, to them, a very, very important statue and the renaming of a park from Robert E. Lee to another name. Well, no, George Washington was a slave owner. Was George Washington a slave owner? So will George Washington now lose his status? Are we going to take down, excuse me, are we going to take down statues to George Washington? How about Thomas Jefferson? What do you think of Thomas Jefferson? You like him? Okay, good. Are we going to take down the statue? Because he was a major slave owner. Now we're going to take down his statue. So you know what? It's fine. You're changing history. You're changing culture. And you had people, and I'm not talking about the neo-Nazis and the white nationalists, because they should be condemned totally. But you had many people in that.
So at 2:03 in this, he says, I'm not talking about the neo-Nazis. They should be condemned totally, whatever. But prior to this, he's both sizing the fuck out
Very
of
fine
this.
people on both sides. Yes, on the argument about whether or not you should rename statues of slave owners, which is, there are very fine people on both sides of those
It wasn't about whether or not you should rename statues. It was in reference to this particular rally that had tiki torch marchers.
Then who was he saying was very fine people on the left side?
Well, it's just him both sidesing everything. What do you mean?
So in other words, not in any way endorsing white nationalists or the neo-Nazis who he condemned totally 40 seconds later.
It was a neo-Nazi. It was a neo-Nazi march rally.
Look,
it's just him trying to both sides it.
Then, okay. Who? It was not. He's not referring to just the rally. He's referring to the people who said there is the rally. And then there are other people who are like, well, I'm not obviously part of the rally, but you know, I don't think we should take down statues of Robert E. Lee, which is fine. You can have a discussion about that. There are very fine people on both sides of that argument. Some people don't want to take them down. I don't care. I'm not Southern, so whatever. But the idea, and I know, and you know that, and I know that everyone watching knows that that is an argument that is ongoing, which is clearly what he's referring to. Otherwise, why would he have 40 seconds later condemned them, the white nationalist people who were doing the rally?
Because when he gets ultra pushed, eventually he'll do it. He did it with Wallace. He did kind of with the Proud Boys.
Okay, so here's what I was saying. This is my question, I guess. Why is that such a common red pilling quote experience for normies like Daniel Negreanu? That they hear it all the time and then they see the full clip and they go, "Oh my God." Why do you think
because
that's
people like you are willing to provide cover for it.
See, fuck that. What do you think? I'm influencing Daniel Negreanu?
Here's a question. I don't even know if you'll be able to engage with this. Here's a question. You say I want to be politically effective, right?
I say you want...
Do you agree? You think I'm trying to be politically effective, right? So I'm trying to communicate with people, right?
Yes. Do I agree that you're... Yes, you want to be politically effective.
So
I don't know.
Here's a question. What do you think is more egregious, okay? This lie about what Donald Trump said, or the fact that you will never get a single conservative lawmaker, not randos on fucking Twitter, to acknowledge that most of the BLM protests were peaceful? And then my next question is going to be why is it that they can characterize a year's worth of protests as all being violent, and that's okay, and they will never disavow that, and fuckers like you will never ask them to disavow it, and people like you will never say, well, I stopped listening to Republicans because they characterized an entire fucking summer's worth of protests as one thing. You will never say that. If I would, I'll bet you, do you have a PayPal? I'll give you $200 right now. Okay, I seriously will. I'll transfer it to you. If you can show me at any YouTube video, any PayPal, $200 right now. Have you ever condemned Republicans for saying like, oh, why do you guys keep saying they were all violent? Why would you guys acknowledge that most of them were peaceful? If you've ever said that, I'll pay by $200 right now. In a single video or a single tweet we've ever said that ever. Where you said, why haven't Republicans...
I've defended the Black Lives Matter riots and people criticizing them?
No. Where you've said to Republicans, why won't you acknowledge that most of these were peaceful?
Most of my... Okay, I can't show you that video.
Okay, I know you can't. So tell me why the difference.
Tell me why. Tell me why I can't show you that video. Hold on, why can't I show you that video?
Because for some reason you guys only listen to the propaganda from the conservative side. So I'm asking you, so hold on. No, wait. So what that tells me is I need to lie more if I'm trying to be politically effective, because the conservative lie is a million times worse, but this was enough to change you? We're not lying enough. That's what's being sold to me.
If that is your conclusion, I cannot save you from your own doom, Destiny.
Okay.
Your name is your fate. Your destiny is your. I don't know. Destiny is your destiny. The reason I don't talk. The word Republican and Democrat almost never comes up in any. It maybe comes up in every 8th or 10th video I make, because I talk mainly about, like, let's just talk about the Black Lives Matter ideology and systemic racism and all that stuff.
Okay.
You view things from a primarily political lens.
Yeah, but you know all of
Like
the.
political-
How do you happen to know all of the talking points from the conservatives then? This is why I hesitated when you were like, poker's not political, right?
I know all the
Everything's
talking points of the left wingers.
Okay, hold on. Maybe you just don't talk to any right wingers about politics. Do you just not talk to any right wingers about politics?
I talk. No, what? No, where are you getting that conclusion from? What? No.
You don't talk to any right wingers about politics.
No, I do.
You do.
I just gave the example of like on YouTube, or what do you mean?
Like, are there any conversations?
Do I know people that are intelligent
Are
and
there
conservative
any
who I disagree with? Yeah.
Are there any conversations you've had on YouTube or Twitter where you are giving the common retorts to the right-wing conspiracy, the right-wing nonsense? Because you've had every right-wing thing in your mind to counter the left-wing stuff. Russiagate was fake and nobody was actually convicted of conspiracy. The USS Liberty and the Israel controls the U.S. To our detriment talking points. This was the worst lie, the both sides things about Trump. And I'm sure there are others that we could think about. Have you ever done any equivalent thing right here to somebody on the right ever in any conversation ever? A single time on any YouTube video, any tweet?
Clearly, you did not watch my Candace Owens Champion Spotlight.
Okay.
Did you see it?
I probably watched it, but this is like explicitly a meme video.
Oh, destiny. And here lies our fundamental disagreement.
Mm-hmm.
You think rational arguments on YouTube are the best way to convince people. And I think memes are.
Okay, but you gave me rational arguments that defended all the conservative conspiracies.
I think
here.
rational
You didn't
argumentation
meme about
is important.
You gave me the real thing about Russiagate was fake. You gave me the real thing about this both sides argument. You had a real example of people being turned.
Yeah.
You had the real example of the USS Liberty. But when it comes to conservative criticism, it's all memes, right? This is the issue. This is what I'm saying. Trump can do no wrong. Like, you will always have a meme, always a joke. Sam Hyde is a joker. He's hilarious. He's epic. Like, there's always a meme. There's always a joke. None of it is serious. But holy fuck, bro. Cancel culture,
It would feel
trans people in
dishonest.
bathrooms.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry, go
Again, part of my hesitancy with the Sam Hyde thing is I've never I have not watched as much stuff as I've watched of yours.
Okay.
The fact that I'm willing to give you the benefit of the doubt, despite the individual horrible fucking things you've said, I feel like I'm obligated to give that attitude towards Sam Hyde as well. There's also another weird aspect of, like, now that, I mean, you're a public figure. I guess I'm a semi-public figure now as well. So, like, I'm not going to shit talk Sam Hyde when I haven't talked to him directly. Whereas if I was talking to him directly, I'd be like, hey, Sam, why are you cozying up to the Nick Fuentes people who hate Wife Jack? Like, it's kind of fucking weird, don't you think? It's kind of anti-religious in every possible way. It's kind of exactly the kind of degeneracy that you criticize the left for. Like, that's what I would ask him. And I would honestly challenge him. Now, he'd probably be harder to argue with, because you just argue with rational. So you have you're the best within
His arguments would be irrational. He would say something along the lines of,
maybe, I don't know.
He would say something, I can tell you what he would say. I know what he would say. He would say something along the lines of, like, maybe these people got banned for breaking the TOS, and if that was the case, he might be okay with it, but that's not why they got banned. They very clearly got banned because they were fighting against the Zog, the H-1B machine, and you've got these soulless ghouls like Elon Musk and Vivek, these people who aren't even real Americans because they don't come from the white European stock that we do, and that's the reason why they were banned. They were shut down for opposing the Jewish machine to control Americans and what white people need to be, which is bred out and hating themselves. That's what his response would be, 100%.
Okay.
Yeah.
I believe that you believe that is what he would say, and you could be right.
Okay.
Let me ask you this broader question.
Sure.
What do you call, because centrist is evil, is it not conceptually possible that someone actually is a centrist in terms of, like, I genuinely dislike the left, the excesses of the left, as much as I dislike the excesses of the right, and I recognize that while at any given one time there might be a different balance of power in the institutions in the media, they both are permanent threats, and, you know, I'm pro free speech, I'm pro gun, but I'm also for fixing climate change. Do you believe that person can exist conceptually? And what do you call that person?
No, not really.
Really?
Yeah.
Because of constellations of beliefs?
No, because it's an issue of magnitude. I don't know if people, I think intuitively everyone understands this, but I don't know if it's like bad faith intentionally or it's just like mind games. Like, do you think that drinking too much water like can be bad for you if you're overhydrated?
I mean, if you drown, but no, I don't think so.
Well, you can have osmotic imbalance of. Okay, let's. Do you think
Like
that,
if you just chug water
do you think
until
that drinking
you can't
too much
anymore?
caffeine can be bad for you?
Yes.
Okay.
I agree.
Do you think that shoving a knife in your eye socket is bad for you?
Depends on what your goal is, but yeah.
Yeah.
Probably.
Do you think that if somebody came up and said like, both these things are bad, would you look at that person kind of weird, or would you say like, yeah, that's true?
I see. Yeah, I see. We talked about this the first time. You right now, you think the right is more magnitude. I understand that, and you could be right. And arguably, now that the right is in power broadly, I would say, yeah. Again,
It has nothing to do with them being in power. Even when they're out of power, there were horrible things going on.
sure,
But,
fine. Let's say the right. Okay, hold on, Destiny. I agree with you.
okay.
On one hand, the right. If anyone is going to burn down this country, 60-40.
Okay.
70-30, whatever, will come from the right. Let's say it will more likely come from the right if anyone's going to burn down this country. That is why I use memes like Zog.
Okay. Doesn't
Because
make any
if the
sense,
right-
but okay.
If the right, not to you, but remember, you're an autist and I'm a schizo.
Okay.
So we must agree to disagree on some sense.
Okay. Your homework assignment.
Yeah,
I'm
go
assigning
ahead.
you some. For our next meeting, I want you to watch that whole Sam Hyde video, and I want you to tell me, what do you think he thinks an American is?
Would you be willing to talk to him?
I have talked to him before. Right now, I don't know if I would. I've had the offer to, but it's going to be a highly
I mean, I
philosophical
get
debate,
it.
yeah.
Look, it's a very, and I like the post irony is a powerful defense mechanism. And
It has nothing to do
or
with
meta-irony,
post irony.
whatever.
Anybody that understands what's going on.
he would
there,
just-
no, he wouldn't just meme. We would be a serious conversation, but it would just be another
Well,
neo-Nazi
why wouldn't you have the
debate.
conversation then?
Because it's super fucking boring. It's about some dude that thinks it's unfalsifiable conspiracy bullshit, and then it's going to be some vague notion to what the European stock. It's going to be a misunderstanding of the 65 Hart-Celler Immigration Act. It's going to be a misunderstanding of the types of Americans that even came over, and the idea that Germans and Anglo-Saxons. It's a whole bunch of like not neo-Nazi shit is so tired and boring and stupid, and everybody that follows it is a fucking loser who doesn't contribute or build to anything in the United States anyway. It's dumb. I'm super over it. Maybe someday I will. I don't know if it gets more popular. I don't think the majority of MAGA are neo-Nazis. I think some of them are racist. A lot of them just have economic anxiety. I think that like a lot of it, yeah. But then they get
Majority of MAGA support Israel, I think.
probably yeah because they're older.
Do you know who Ian Carroll is on Twitter?
I feel like I've seen the name before. What is it?
He's like a hippie looking guy. He usually has a mustache, but sometimes his beard, and he's always doing like the Israel videos. So here's the thing about Israel. But you don't know who I'm talking about.
Nope.
Okay. I would benefit if you two had a conversation. I think that would be a bit because Ian Carroll seems, from what I've seen,
10,000
Good
followers.
faith.
This guy, Ian Carroll.
no. He ratioed Elon Musk recently.
Can you give me? How do you spell his name?
I think it's. Let me look it up. It might be like the Irish Ian. Ian.
Oh, the Ian Carroll Show.
Ian Carroll Show. Yeah.
Oh Jesus! Just from the fucking profile, he seems like a fucking retard. But
See, but that's the thing, Destiny. I know so many people who would say the same thing about you, and I don't take that seriously. So why would I take it seriously when you do that to other people?
it's just a heuristic. I could be wrong. He might be really smart.
Well, I think that is the case. I think that's true. That's what I'm saying. You guys should have a conversation.
Follow the money, seek the truth. Seems like he probably puts an overemphasis on fucking lobbyists or some bullshit. And I bet if he's MAGA, he'll say follow the money. But I bet there's no criticism in here about Elon Musk or any of the multiple billionaires. Seek the truth is always a fucking dog whistle for I'm the most retarded person you'll ever talk to. OSINT journalism. I've never heard of this guy being like associated well with the OSINT community ever. Maybe that's just me not hearing about it. But it's really annoying that people have hijacked this OSINT term to being like I'm a baller who doesn't fucking know how to fucking read longitude latitude on a fucking map. Exposing globalism. Oh, he is retarded. Not an expert in anything but sarcasm. And then nice, we got the veil of sarcasm to hide ourselves from any serious critiques. I see our Make America Happy, Healthy, Human, Great Again. Very nice.
I wish I was as smart as you.
It's all good. Oh, nice. He supports the GameStop thing, so he's financially fucking retarded as well. What else do we have here? Here's an explanation of the actual market-wide criminal conspiracy the GameStop... Okay, yeah, so he's fucking stupid on this. The Diddy lawsuit. Oh, he's obsessed with all of the culture war stuff. Probably gets a lot of talking points from... I could tell you a whole bunch of stuff that he probably... Have you watched his stuff before?
I see his videos.
Does he believe, for instance, that the Diddy stuff isn't just about Diddy, but there's actually a wider conspiracy that every single Hollywood actor and maybe even politicians and other powerful people in society are brought into parties where they're forced to have sex or do crazy things? Really? He doesn't believe that?
No, you said every single actor.
Not every single actor. I'm sorry.
Oh.
But the majority are the ones that they can get their hands. Oh, hold on. I understand. So he does actually believe what I just said in the non-hyperbolic version, because that's why you bid on that. Okay, so he does believe that. Okay.
Yes, that there are that type of shit is open secrets in elite circles. Yeah, I don't know who would dispute that. You don't think people knew that about Harvey Weinstein and P. Diddy and that type of activity? You don't think most people in those circles had an idea?
That's not the strong claim. That's the weak centrist claim that people like you will defend. The strong claim is that this is all done intentionally to keep these people under thumb. If you're a neo-Nazi, it's so that Jewish people can use you to signal for your Jewish interests.
Okay, I'd have to go review the documents, but I believe it absolutely is the case that
you're going to say it was Jewish people.
They were using no. Well, there were Jewish people there. It's fucking Hollywood. You say it's fucking Israel.
And they were using them. Were they using it for Israel? Okay. No, it's all good. It's all fine. It's all good. You just happen to know every single neo-Nazi factual argument. Also, by the way, you know all of these. These aren't memes or jokes. You know, like the verbatim, rational. I know it's lame, but you know, like you just said before. I just communicated memes and jokes, but you know the factual, logical arguments for every single neo-Nazi argument. Does that even concern you a bit that you know all of them?
I don't know all. That's why I asked you about. Wait, how is all the different races being turned brown? How is that good for Jews? I thought that would be bad for them. Okay. The point about they use people, fucking P. Diddy was blackmailing other people. Yes, that's true. And his associates were blackmailing other people and said, keep this fucking shit to yourselves. That's indisputable.
That's not what the strong claim. The strong claim is that all of this. No.
And then accusing me of being a Nazi.
It's not about blackmailing.
Because I said,
it's not about blackmailing
some of these people happen to be Jewish.
It's about blackmailing them to control the media and to make sure that people are putting out like the proper messages. Otherwise, they're going to reveal the crazy shit that P. Diddy got you to do at the party. That's the point. That's the strong claim. That's what people like Candace Owens believe.
Say the last part again. That what?
It's not that they're blackmailing him to keep it a secret. That makes sense. Like, that's literally just like
to do other shit.
Yes, like the media messaging around like Israel and Jews and stuff like that.
I have no doubt that fucking Israel has done... First off, Israel has done fucking insane shit with fucking all kinds of blackmailing stuff and whatnot. Ellie Cohen is like the super... There's documentaries about Ellie Cohen who has orgies with Syrian officials and all that shit to fucking
makes sense.
Get information and compromise them and all that. Okay, so
these are enemies of the state. Why do you think this is the same thing? Hold on. If I were to tell you that that I don't know any MMA fighters, some dude beat the shit out of his wife, and you were like, wait, really? And I was like, yeah. I mean, he beats the shit out of people in the ring. Wouldn't you believe that? Do you understand how stupid that comparison would be? When you say
that
Israel,
is a stupid comparison.
Yeah.
I agree.
So when you say that Israel has committed like acts of espionage and shit against enemies of the state versus allies, those are two totally different things, right?
Okay, first, when I am older and wiser, and when I have become as successful as you, I will spend 12 hours a day reading through these documents, citing these specific examples, having all of the evidence, having all of the things, right? Like, and then we will have a conversation. I am fully aware, and I know full well, that when I am pushing back against you, it is not convincing to you or to most people watching, potentially. I am saying these things because I believe they're true, and there is a moral axiom that here are things that I believe as of right now, and you're intelligent, and I've seen enough of your stuff where I can kind of, if you say something dumb, then I can kind of be like, okay, well, does he really believe that I think it's better to be 5 rapists and 10?
Okay, sure. Just find one thing in the future that we can go on it. Because this is every conversation I have is very conveniently, people are allowed to retreat to narratives and vibes, but when it comes to pushing on any factual point, there's nothing ever. It's always shadows.
Okay, fair enough. I would end with this.
Yeah.
If you were more accommodating and just said...
I've already addressed this. I don't care where it is. Because I'm just going to counter and I'm going to say, why doesn't the right have to be accommodating? I already gave that example. Wait. Wait. I'm just curious about this. Okay, hold on. Ian tweets, I think this was 10 hours ago. No, I'm so sorry. This is 4 days ago, okay? Criticize Israel on social media and you immediately get accounts like awesome Jew doxing your 70-plus-year-old parents. Totally not mob tactics. Something, God's chosen people. Something, most moral army. Not a good look, awesome Jew. Criticize
yeah.
America's government. I won't take it personally. All help. Israel, though, can't criticize them. They're perfect or else we'll harass your elderly parents. This only proves my point. This isn't normal. And awesome jewelry should have been banned for this exact behavior years ago. I am far from the first.
What am I supposed to think of that? He got doxxed by awesome Jew, or his parents got doxxed? That seems bad. You shouldn't dox people.
Do you think that
no matter how awesome of a Jew they are?
So
the God's chosen people thing?
No. Here's a tweet. So he thinks the Jews did 9/11.
Does he?
So on
what does it say?
July 24th, he said Israel did 9/11. Look up the dancing Israelis, the Israeli art students, a clean break, etc. These are all like the big Nazi stories.
What are all those?
I'm not getting to every single one of these, but it has.
Have you looked into them?
The dancing Israeli ones, yes, and
I don't
the clean
even.
break
I've
memo,
Googled it.
yes,
It's like
it's retarded.
Okay.
I don't know the Israeli art students one. That's a whole new one. I may have to look that up in the future.
Interesting.
We've got Israel did 9/11 was another tweet a few months ago. We've got look at every single Israel account using 9/11 as justification for what we need to support.
Send me the one where you said Israel did 9/11.
I sent you a tweet,
did?
the last tweet I did. There's 4 pictures of different tweets he's made. Funny how there was a ton of evidence that Israel was involved in perpetrating 9/11 that all got swept under the rug by the CIA and media, and it was all, quote unquote, debunked by ignoring it and hoping it would go away. The war on terror was an Israeli op from the start. Oh, he's doing the thing. Remember when I said earlier why they say that Israel caused 9/11 was to bring us into the Middle East to fight their enemies? Notice how he used that neo-Nazi talking point? Isn't that crazy? I've never seen this guy's tweets in my life, but I knew the exact neo-Nazi talking point that he would use.
What is the neo-Nazi about that? Israel did 9/11?
Israel did 9/11 to draw us into the Middle East so that we would go and kill the Arabs for them because they're enemies of the Jews.
I have no evidence against that.
Okay. Last one, and then I won't bug you anymore, okay? The last one. I haven't watched this before, so I'm just curious, okay? Let's watch it. It's 3 minutes, okay? Ready?
Yes.
Let me know when you're ready.
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
Okay. 3.
You picked one with Sneeko in it on purpose, didn't you?
Yeah, I did. Okay. 3, 2, 1, go.
Shout out Candace Owens.
Goes hard.
Really? Candace is the GOAT.
What do you think she's went deeper on?
Well, she's just not afraid right now to talk about the Bolsheviks and the Nazi things, and just like ask the questions of like what do we and don't we know for real about the World War II history, and like how are we so sure, and why are we not allowed to ask those questions? Because obviously, like we see the manipulation of our information today. Why wouldn't it have been manipulated around World War II when there's like it was way easier for them to do, and so she's just did a really great piece, like her whole show about how in Russia, like millions and millions of Christians were being exterminated by the Bolshevik Jews up there. So she's just really like.
Is she saying Jews or Bolsheviks?
No, she's saying Jews.
Yeah,
I mean
wow.
because the
head Bolsheviks were Jews.
Yeah, and it's the argument is like no, they weren't Jews, but it's like the guy that founded them was, and there's like at the very least we should ask some questions and just nothing wrong with questions. If the truth is true, questions won't hurt it.
History should always be able to be re-examined. I mean, look, we don't even know what's true today. We argue over the news what's real or not.
Exactly.
To say some history is like set and 100% true, and you can go to jail for certain things is absolutely absurd to me.
How long is Candace going to last on YouTube, BotTube?
Oh, on YouTube, dude. I'm sure she's already getting demonetized in some
it's
ways.
hard to cancel her.
Yeah, I don't think they can take her down.
I mean, they took down a lot of other people at similar sizes.
As big as Candace? Candace is big.
And she's in a different class right now where she's.
Okay, we can pause if you want, I guess.
Where's the lie?
Is that a meme or?
No, I'm dead serious.
Do you know? Have you ever heard of the term or the expression cultural?
Just asking.
Cultural Bolshevism.
Just asking questions.
So cultural Bolshevism was the Nazi.
Cultural Marxism. Yeah.
Well,
Jordan
it was the
Peterson
idea
is
that it
a
was all
Nazi,
headed
apparently, 'cause
by.
he talks about cultural Marxism.
No, cultural Bolshevism very specifically referred to how like Jews were controlling the art scene. Oh, crazy! How the parallels to modern day. In
Hold on. Wait. Jews control Hollywood. Is that more true or less true?
I can't tell if you're playing dumb or not. You're smarter than this. Why are you asking me this?
Okay, the Jews control. Okay, it's like saying white people control America, or saying men control America.
No, what's the claim? Why are you doing going back to this like super like
hold on?
kindergartner thing?
Okay, this is it not the case that let's just Hollywood?
No, I'm not answering this question. What do you think? Just tell me. I don't know why we have to do this. You're not stupid. What is a strong claim?
Of what I just asked you? Is Hollywood significantly influenced by Jewish people and disproportionately made up of Jewish people? Hello, did you see Dave Chappelle's fucking SNL monologue? It's a lot of Jews. You think anyone disputes that? To then say, therefore, to be Jewish is to be part of this grand fucking conspiracy, that's a strong claim and is wrong. And is self-evidently wrong with people like fucking Norman Finkelstein and Gabor Mate and Dave Smith.
Yes, cultural Bolshevism, which I think they even said that expression, was about saying that Jews were intentionally subverting society using art and stuff to weaken the German people.
This is, okay. Maybe that's what that means. I heard the exact same thing about Jordan Peterson when he talked about cultural Marxism.
I'm not talking about Jordan Peterson right now. He's on this podcast with Mike Shields, who's basically an open neo-Nazi. I think the account tweeting this is a neo-Nazi account.
Jake Shields has said some wild fucking dumb shit.
It's always wild and dumb, but it's never neo-Nazi. It's never like it's not wild and dumb, by the way.
Yeah, okay, hold on.
Notice
I don't use the... No, hold on.
Wait, question. Okay. You said Mike Shields has said some wild and dumb shit. Can you think of a single thing that he said that's wild and dumb against MAGA? Or does it always go in one direction?
No, yeah, he probably has criticized Trump for being too Zionist.
So it's not wild and dumb, right? Do you see how you play with the language there? It's wild and dumb. You make it sound random, but it's not. It's always pointed in a particular direction. So he might be more neo-Nazi than MAGA.
So what do you want me to say? What do you want me to say? That he's a Nazi?
Stop giving cover. Stop saying it's random. Stop saying it's crazy. It's so stupid and wild. It's not stupid. It's not wild. It's very intentional. It's not random. It's very pointed. And it's not like, it's not random. It's deliberate.
What do you think Jake Shields wants? Do you think he wants to kill Jews? Because hold on.
Why does it have to be to kill Jews? It could just be to
that's what the fucking Nazis did. This is why I, on principle, will not call anyone a fucking Nazi.
The Nazis killed them as the final solution. There were other solutions before the final solution. That was the last part of the plan, was killing them all. But before that, it was shipping them into ghettos. Before that, it was stripping them of their jobs. Before that, it was moving them to other countries and camps. Before that, it was making them work to death. Like, it wasn't just killing them. There were other parts of it that went before it. I wish that Hitler would have died in 1940 so that somebody else could have come in and done the death camps. Because now, anytime you talk about Nazism or any of this shit, it's always like, well, are we killing them yet? There was a whole bunch of shit that happened before the death camps, right? Sorry. Love you.
That very gaslighting of you.
No,
sorry.
you're gaslighting because you always do this thing.
I'm kidding.
Where you're like, does he want to kill all the Jews? No, why does it have to be the most extreme binary final solution? They literally called it the final solution for people like you, not like this is what showed up on the TPS report of one of 15 options that we could pursue. Go ahead, sorry. I'll give you the last word because I was already supposed to leave because I have a flight tonight.
This is great. No, this is how I wanted to end. Yeah.
I'm not going to be in my fucking... Yeah, go ahead.
I don't know how to communicate it to you that when you say someone is a Nazi, the connotation that most people have is, oh, you mean like the Nazis who exterminated the Jews? And you say, well, hold on.
Do you think that I don't understand that? Why are you saying this? I've been doing online communication for 15 years. Why do you think I don't understand that? I know that there are heavy connotations there.
Because I don't think you actually care that much about trying to convince.
You understand that I had a whole rift. I had a whole rift with my community, which arguably drove one of the most insane drama rifts, when I was debating, when Fuentes was trying to go more mainstream with his Christian nationalism, although he's actually a Catholic, he's very not much like okay with Protestants. But when he was trying to do his Christian nationalist bullshit, right, I was very big on saying, because they had toned back some of the anti-Semitic stuff and they were more focused on like culture-y stuff and other stuff. I was like, I don't identify Fuentes at this moment as a neo-Nazi. I don't even know if I would consider him right now a neo-Nazi. I think he does some anti-Semitic shit, but I'll just attack the police. I don't know if I consider him a neo-Nazi. That was like a huge rift in my community. A lot of people got upset at that. And it wasn't until after the Kanye shit that I was like, okay, never mind. Now we're back in neo-Nazi territory. Well, but this is a huge thing in my community.
Okay. But,
I love you.
I kind of believe that you do, that you love me a little bit, because I think you know that I recognize the danger of what happens if people like Jake Shields becomes the thought leaders of large groups of disaffected young men with weapons. That would be bad. And I think you know that I know that.
Yeah, but I think we totally disagree on how to get there.
On how we do.
Yeah, but
and like when someone says when someone says Israel did 9/11, I'd go, you know what? I've never looked into it. Maybe they did. How would I know? And then someone says, okay, well now what? let's look into it. Oh wait, we do look into it. And didn't you
Dude,
look into it
keep
exactly
going
with Nick
back to this
Fuentes?
thing. You keep going back to this thing, and I'll say,
Didn't you? In your champion spotlight, I cited you talking.
I will issue this exact same thing. Show me where this level of skepticism has ever been present or this level of charitability has ever been present when it's about the left. It's always in one direction. If somebody says something bad about the left, oh yeah, probably. But when it's bad about the right, it's like, well, I don't know. We have to check that. We got to fact check that. We need to verify that.
Like what? Like what's a left-wing conspiracy that they killed Martin Luther King? They probably did fucking kill Martin Luther King. They did kill Fred Hampton.
It's just this infinite charitability to people on the right, and on the left, it's like nothing. Like I never get that. I've never heard that.
You know what? All right, the next time we talk, we'll only agree, okay? Because I don't. I mean, I don't know. I know that I give the same charitability to the far right as I do the far left.
Really? Okay, I'm curious. Have you ever said that that the Hillary email thing was a complete and total farce?
Okay, that's not the fucking far left.
Okay, have you ever mentioned that? Have you ever mentioned that the whole Benghazi stuff was a total farce?
That is so Wait, what do you mean?
Have you ever mentioned anything about the fact that the election was stolen via the Supreme Court from Gore? That recount was stopped on the 15th of December because they were so concerned about... Or the fact that the Ken Starr investigation into Clinton was just Republicans mining for half a decade to try to find something bad about him. Or that the entire Hunter Biden laptop story and all of the investigations that came from that, where it was fucking insane bullshit.
You and I have completely different ideas of what the key, like the Jews run the world, anti-Semitism on the far right. That's far deeper than... those are not equivalent at all to like whether or not Benghazi was in Ken Starr and all that shit. It's like there's deep issues on the far right that are affecting people psychologically. There are deep issues on the far left. Like, is America fucking systemically racist? Like, certainly fucking was, and it certainly is to
how about stuff with COVID?
A certain degree.
Do you acknowledge that conservatives have had the talking points around like COVID have basically been like a lie from almost the start?
Good thing I watch you, because as far as I know, every debate they've, like with the fucking Majid Nawaz, it was like, in Japan there was fucking shit in their vaccines. And you're like, yeah, that was a specific batch of defective vaccines that they pulled out. Majid Nawaz was like, and I was like, oh, okay, cool. I don't have to take Majid Nawaz as seriously as I would otherwise.
Have you ever tweeted about that or mentioned it in any video ever?
No, because I'm trying to appeal to the right wing by me using all these anti-Semitic dog whistles to advance non-anti-Semitism.
Okay. Why would you only try to appeal to the right wing?
I'll say that. I'll just say this.
Shouldn't you be trying to appeal to the left to move people right as well? Why not use their dog whistles? Why not say, like, I actually think a lot of people on the right are toxically masculine, and then use that dog whistle, even though you don't believe in toxic masculinity, bring them over?
You and I agree the right are probably a bigger threat at this point.
Yeah, but you said 70-30. That's still a pretty big threat from the left, and they were just in office and power, right?
Yeah, well, they're not no threat.
Okay. All right. Well, listen, I love you, buddy. Right. Maybe I'll stop by where you live on my way back from New York, and I'll find you in real life, and I'll... You know what?
Yeah, I'm not far from Rowan.
Okay. Oh, that's true. He told me that. We drove by your house. We camped out for like 3 hours waiting for you to come outside, and you didn't. So,
my handler let me know you were coming, so I was okay.
Okay. Well, hey, I love you, buddy. Be careful. Stay safe.
That's
okay.
Good.
Bye.
Peace.
Jesus. I think the biggest thing for me is that, like, whenever I hear these, like, I'm skeptical of this and I'm not sure about that, that's fine. I just don't know why. It's just, I do know why. It's just never applied to the other side. And that's what drives me crazy. It's never like, oh, the right said that thing. I don't know. I need to check that. I'm not sure. It's always like, well, maybe that is true. I don't know. Right. It's just so frustrating. Okay. All right. Well, listen. I love you guys. I think we're streaming tomorrow, so be careful. Stay safe. Fuck, we didn't get to watch our Josiah video. Maybe we can dig deeper into this, like the Trump thing. I don't know why. They said this, they got real mad about that. There were good people on both sides, and they call that like one of the biggest pieces of misinformation. But like his answers are really, 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 really bad. And it's so much to get to like pry from him. Like, yeah, the Nazi people were bad, right? This was a neo-Nazi. This is like, but I don't know. Maybe we can do a whole thing. I don't know. It's just so weird that people like hang their hat on that. But I mean, I have heard a lot of people say, I don't know. Fuck it, whatever. Okay. I wanted to watch Beasley and Josiah on this program. I didn't get to watch it. Damn, look at that slick ass shirt. Ripperino, cappuccino, pappuccino, hoppuccino, mappuccino, dappuccino, cappuccino, appuccino, appuccino, my deuterinos. Oh, wait. If it helps you, Shapiro called this out before Trump flipped.
And you knew the Democrats were going to use Charlottesville to its fullest effect. Of course they were. It was Trump's lowest moment of his presidency. Now, I know, listen, I know there are a lot of people who are trying on the right to engage in what I consider to be revisionist history about what President Trump said about Charlottesville. He did not say there were good Nazis, but what he did say is that there were good people on both sides of the marches in Charlottesville. This was simply not true. The people who were marching in Charlottesville around the statue, it was not a bunch of nice people who showed up to march.
I hate Ben Shapiro. He has so many videos like this where before he was a total Trump dick rider, he was, by the way, he called it an insurrection the next day. He used that term without anybody in the left prompting. He called it an insurrection. God, I hate this guy.
With Richard Spencer. This thing was identified as a Unite the Right rally that was led by alt-right white supremacists. And when President Trump said this, it was a huge mistake. He knew it at the time. He apologized for it. Then he moved back in the other direction. I'm going to play you the full clip of President Trump talking about it. People are trying to say he meant there were people on both good people on both sides of the Confederate statue debate. If that's what he had said, I would have not only had no problem with it, I would have agreed with it. But that's not really what he said. What he said is there were good people marching. He was specifically referring to that Friday night. So here's what the president said.
You had a group on one side and you had a group on the other, and they came at each other with clubs, and it was vicious, and it was horrible, and it was a horrible thing to watch. I think there's blame on both sides, and I have no doubt about it, and you don't have any doubt about it either. And you had some very bad people in that group, but you also had people that were very fine people on both sides. You had people in that group that were there to protest the taking down of, to them, a very, very important statue and the renaming of a park from Robert E. Lee to another name.
Okay, so that last comment, people are now taking that out of context on the right and suggesting that Trump was not talking about the protesters who showed up. He was talking about writ large Confederate statues. Okay, that is not accurate. Okay, that is just not what he said at the time.
Like, I disagree with Ben a lot, but like, we need these conservatives back. You can still, I don't think you should vote for Trump at this time, but fuck it, I would even handle it. All right, you can still be a Trump voter because you can't stomach voting for a Democrat or even abstain from voting, fine. But this is gone from the Republican Party. There's a reason this video is unlisted, okay? This is gone from the Republican Party. They cannot hold their own accountable ever. They can't do it. It's a cult.
And so I'm loath to rewrite history in favor of President Trump, specifically because that, again, I want to read you the entire transcript. Okay, here's what he said. This is the entire transcript. I think there's blame on both sides. You look at both sides. I think there's blame objectively on both sides. I have no doubt about it. You don't have any doubt about it. If you reported it accurately, you would say the neo-Nazis started this thing. They showed up in Charlottesville. Excuse me. They didn't put themselves down as neo-Nazis. You had some very bad people in that group. You also had some very fine people on both sides. You had people in that group. Excuse me. I saw the same pictures as you did. You had people in that group that were there to protest the taking down of, to them, a very, very important statue and the renaming of a park from Robert E. Lee to another name. And then he moved on to his discussion of generalized statues and the taking down of those statues, an issue about which I largely agree with President Trump. But I'm not going to buy the rewriting of history just for partisan purposes. So that is not what President Trump said when he says find people on both sides. He was not specifically talking about the generalized debate, a proposition with which I agree. He was talking, he referred to the pictures of the violence. He talked specifically about the night that he was talking about. I've yet to identify the nice people who were marching with Richard Spencer that night. Okay, end of story. So that is a fair hit. It is also fair to note that the Democrats have then taken this and blown this up into President Trump.
I'm so curious now. Do you think that we can find something in the past year or two where Ben Shapiro refers to how this is the biggest lie the Democrats have ever said?
President Trump has just been named the Time Person of the Year again. This would be his second time as Time Person of the Year, which of course perfectly deserved. I'm not sure who else it would be. Apparently, the other people who were on the list were Vice President Kamala Harris, you're going to win, obviously. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. Again, there's a case to be made, but when you're elected President of the United States for a second time after losing an election, that's pretty damn historic. And the entire world shapes itself to your priorities. Pretty amazing. Elon Musk was named a possibility, and Kate Middleton. Big win for President Trump here. I'm sure that will be framed. He called it a great honor back in 2016 and deemed Time magazine a great magazine at the time.
I'm already not going to answer that question, so let me get on to.
Would you like to?
I do have.
Right into the Biden protest.
Yesterday was a big.
What the f? Is everyone so hostile? I'm here for my favorite president, Biden 2020.
Fuck, I don't have time to dig through this.
It appears that there is a that about Trump.
Okay. Wait. Oh. Thank you. I knew he said this because this is the #1 fucking meme that conservatives saying that. When P.F. Young said, this is what changed my mind, it's because conservatives told him that it was supposed to change his mind. It's not that people dispassionately viewed all the evidence, and it was because he was told, also probably by other quote-unquote centrists, like people like Joe Rogan, okay? That's what happened.
I'm right into the Biden protest with the Trump shirt. Get your ass across.
Because we have this.
And you knew the Democrats were going to use Charlottesville to its fullest effect. Of course they were. It was Trump's lowest moment of his
And then we
presidency.
have his tweet.
Now, I know, listen, there are a lot of
few
people
months ago,
who are trying on the right.
Of course he jumped on board with this. Find people on both sides? Lie. Stand back and stand by? Lie. Bloodbath? Lie. We're the ABC moderators fact-checking, or are their heads too far up Kamala Harris's ass to speak at this point? Every single time. Every time you get him on this. Every time.
To engage in what I
That stand back and stand by thing is crazy. That is a crazy statement that Trump. I cannot believe he was so fucking arrogant that he thought he could get away. Well, he did get away with it. I'm sorry. What am I? Well, no, I guess he didn't. Because he ended up losing an election. But okay. Quote tweet in the video. Mike Liberal will do it, and I'll throw it up. All right. I love you guys. It's been fun. I'll probably be live tomorrow morning in New York. Love you. Bye.